गया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 78, verse number 8. Did we do 8 number? 8. 9? Okay. So Krishna is fighting with Dantavakra, and Dantavakra came alone with a club in his hand, and he was speaking very harshly to Krishna. And then he yes. So then he hit Krishna on his head with the club. So Gadya Abhito आप आ जाओ, verse number 8. न चचाले यदुद्वः कृष्णोपीतम अहन गुरुव्या कौमोदक्या स्तनांतरे. So when he was hit by Dantavakra, Krishna did not move, nothing happened to him. So it's na chachala. And then, as a reply to his, he hit back with his Kaumodaki Gada. He hit him with club, because Krishna is also fighting with club now. So I hit him on his chest. Said, okay, let's see if you can handle this one. So Gada nirbhinna hirdaya udvaman rudhiram mukhat prasarya kesha bahvangrin dharanyam ne patat vyashu. So that's all. One club, he was over. So when he was hit on his chest, he started vomiting blood because his heart was broken. Right? He got right on his heart, Gadavi nirbhinna hirdaya. So heart broke. So he started vomiting. The blood which was sort of supposed to be circulated into the body came out of the mouth. And then his hair from the head flew around. He spread his arms, leg, and fell on the earth, dead, without life here. So one blow was enough for him. So Rukshair Vakya Shashta Todan Pridyatam, in the commentary on this. Tataha Sukshmataram Jyoti Krishnam Avishadadbhutam Pashyatam Sarva Bhutanam Yatha Chadya Vadhe Nripa. Then just as when Shishupal was killed and a light came out of Shishupal's body, went up into the sky and then entered into Krishna's foot, right? So same thing happened now also, that a very fine light came out and entered into Krishna's body. Doesn't say which part, but we can understand from Shishupal that also entered into his foot. So Pashyatam Sarvabhutanam, and this happened when everyone was looking on. Vidurathastu tadbhrata bhratri shoka pariplutaha agachadasi charmabhyam uchavasanta jighamsaya. So when Dantavakra was killed, then he had a brother, younger brother, whose name was Vidurath. So then Vidurath got the news that Dantavakra has been killed by Krishna. So he says, well, my brother has been killed, so I should not remain behind. So he said, let me also go. So he was full of grief because of the brother's death. And then he came also there, holding a sword in his hand and having the, what you call, this dhal, what is it in English called, that he used to protect from the sword, shield. So with a shield and asi charmabhyam. And he was breathing very deeply and came with the wish to kill Krishna. Tasya cha patat Krishnas chakrena kshurane mina Shiro Jahara Rajendra Sakiritam Sakundalam. So this guy did not get much chance. Krishna said, there is no need for you to delay. You can follow your brother quickly. So he cut off his head with his Sudarshan Chakra and he fell off. Tasya cha apatat Krishna's chakrena kshuranemina shiro. So he fell down. He came attacking him. Tasya cha apatataha. So when he was trying to attack Krishna, Krishna cut off his head along with his helmet, crown, and also the earrings. So both were taken away with the head. So the crown remained intact on his head when it fell. Evam shobham cha salvam cha Dantavaktram sahanujam hatva durvishahananyai iditah surmanavaihi. So in this way, Krishna, he destroyed the iron city of Shalva, destroyed Shalva, then Dantavaktra, then his brother Viduratha. And this could not be done by anyone else. Durvashahan Anyai. So when he has done that, then everybody glorified him, praised him for this wonderful act. And now he gives the list of all people who praised him for this valorous act. So first is Sura Manava. So Devas, then human beings, Munibhi Siddha Gandharvair Vidyadhara Mahorgai Apsarobhi Pitri Ganir Yakshai Kinnar Charani. So he was also praised by the sages, by the Siddhas, and also class of Updevas, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, and big snakes, Mahorga, Apsaras, forefathers, Yaksas, Kinnaras, and Charanas. So everybody praised him. Upgiyamana Vijayaha Kusmair Abhivarshitaha Apsarobhi Pitri Pravrair Vivesh Alankritam Purim. So he was being praised. Everybody was celebrating the victory, and there was showering of flowers by all these people on him, that he has achieved this amazing thing. So he entered into the city, which was very nicely decorated to receive him. It used to be like that when king went on battle, and if he was victorious, then when he came, then people will receive him. Just like these days, if you have some team, there are different countries, like in Europe they have soccer, right? So whichever team wins, if the team comes back home, then the whole country is very happy and receive them nicely and take for a victory parade. So Krishna also had that. Evam Yogeshwarah Krishno Bhagwan Jagdishwarah Yate Pashudrishtinam Nirjito Jayati Iti Saha. So in this way, Krishna, when he entered the city, then big celebration. He is Bhagwan, he is Jagdishwara, and he is Yogeshwara. So there are three adjectives which are used for Krishna here: Yogeshwara, Jagdishwara, Bhagwan. So these things indicate a lot of story which is not here, because Bhagavatam does not describe Krishna's visit to Vrindavan, but that story is there in Padma Purana, and Jiva Goswami referred to that in Krishna Sandarbha. So that's what is indicated here. Jiva Goswami writes a very lengthy comment here, but Vishnu Chakravarti doesn't go into the detail, he writes little bit. So, iyate pasudrishtinam nirjito jayati. But those who have animal-like vision, they think that Krishna was defeated, although he was victorious. So, now the commentary, little lengthy commentary on this. So, Pasu Drishtayo Bahirmukha Duryodhanadeyastu Tadapi na chamatkaram prapnuvanti ityaha pasudrishtinam. He says that people who have brain like animal, so they are not amazed or surprised even after Krishna has done all this. They still think that there is nothing much he has done. Just killing 2-3 people, but mostly he was defeated. They think like that. So therefore he says Bahirmukha, the people who are not devoted to him, they think, because everybody has got their own way of seeing a person. When you are against somebody, then you don't see anything good in him. Even if he is doing good, you only find fault with it. So this Duryodhana is like that. Pasudrishtinam pasudrishtibhistu janair ayam mathura tyajan purvakam jarasandhadi nirjitam eva dvitran viran jayate iti iyate pratiyate. So they only think that he ran away from Mathura and he was defeated by Jarasandha. So they think like that. Although Jarasandha is killed now, because this is after the Rajasuya. So still they think like that. And he may have defeated 2-3 people, but more than that, because they think that this killing Putana, killing Vatsasura, killing Keshi, killing Bakasura, they don't consider them as some great hero. He says they one is Bakasura was a bird, Keshi was a horse, Putana was a woman, right? So whom did he fight with? Basically Shishupal, he was not even fighting, he was standing and he just cut his head off. So this is how people think. They have their own way of seeing. It's quite interesting to see also how people can have such varied views about the same person. So this is also their view. So Atra, so now he writes after saying this, Atra danta vaktra vadha prasange padmottar khande vishesho drishyate. Says something extra is being described in the Padma Purana Uttarkhanda in relationship with killing of Dantavaktra. Tathahi tadiya gadyani. So there is a prose text as follows. Atha Sishupalam nihatam shrutva Dantavaktraha krishnena saha yodhum mathuram ajagama. So after killing Shishupala, Dantavaktra heard the news when Shishupal was killed, and then Dantavaktra came to Mathura. So it is not mentioned here, but actually what happened is that when Shishupal was killed, Shishupal was in Indraprastha. So when Dantavaktra heard that, he was moving to Indraprastha. But then Krishna in the meantime moved towards Dwarka. So then when he heard that, then he came to Mathura, because Indraprastha is north. And that's what he is talking about, that Krishnena sahayodhum Mathuram ajagami, that he came to Mathura to fight with Krishna. Krishnastu tachutva ratham aruhya Mathuram ayayu. And when Krishna heard that, then he rode on a chariot and he came to Mathura to fight with him. Tayor Dantavaktra Vasudevayor Ahoratram Mathura Dwari Sangrama Samavartata. So battle continued, a fight continued between Krishna and Dantavaktra for 15 days. So they fought here at the entrance of Mathura. Mathura Dwari says. So Mathura Dwari also don't think of Mathura as you see it now. but the Mathura, whole district of Mathura. So at the entrance where Mathura district or Mathura region begins, that's where. So there is a place called Datiha in Madhya Pradesh. That actually is coming from the word Dantavakraha, Datiha. That's the place where he was killed. He will mention that. So Krishnastu Gadaya tam Jaghana. So Krishna killed him with his club. Satu Churnita Sarvango Vajra Nirbhinno Mahidharaiva Gatasur Avnitale Nipapate. So his limbs were broken and he fell on the ground, just like when Indra, he was cutting the peaks of the mountains and they were falling down. So he fell dead on the ground. Sopi Harehe Sarupyena Yogi Gamyam Nityananda Sukhdam Paramam Padam Avapa. And this Dantavakra also, he attained Sarupya Mukti, which is attained by great yogis and which gives eternal transcendental bliss. So he attained that position. Itham Jaya Vijayau Sankadi Shapa Vyajena Kevalam Bhagavato Leelartham Samsritau Avtirya Janmtrayepi Tenaiva Nihitau. So Shishupal and Dantavakra, they were actually Jaya and Vijaya, the doorkeepers, who were cursed by the Sanaka, the four Kumaras. And on the pretext of their curse, they took birth on earth 3 times to participate in the pastime of Bhagavan. And in all the 3 births, they were killed by Bhagavan only. Janmatraya avsane muktim avapto. They attained liberation at the end of the 3rd birth, in 3rd life. So now he is explaining. So Krishnastu Tachrutva, this prose text of Padma Purana, he comments on that. Krishnastu Tachrutva iti Manojavasya Nardasyeva Mukhat Ateva Salva Vadha Anantram Dwarkam Apurushyeva Manojavena Rathena Tatshanam Eva Mathurantike Tam Dadarsha. So Krishna heard from Narada that this Dantavakra is coming to fight after the killing of Shalva. So then Narada, who can travel at the speed of mind, gave the quick news to him. Ateva Shalva Vadha Anantaram. So therefore, after killing Shalva, Krishna did not enter into Dwarka. Dwarkam apravishya eva manojavena rathena tatakshana eva mathurantike tam dadarsha. So he moved with the speed of mind in a chariot and caught this person, Dantavakra, at the entrance of Mathura. So Krishna's thinking was that he did not want Dantavakra to come there because he wanted to visit Raja after that. This was his plan. So that's why he did not go back to Dwarka and then come and fight. He came directly here. Ateva adyapi Mathurayam Dwarkadik Dwari Dantavaktraha Sanskrit Anugaloka Bhashaya Datiha iti namna akhya vajrena vasito gramo vartate. So he says, therefore even today, in the direction of Dwarka from Mathura, there is a place called Dantavaktraha, whose local name is Datiha in local language, following the Sanskrit. And this village was established by Vajranabh later on. When Vajranabh came and ruled over Mathura after Krishna disappeared, Vajranabh was son of Aniruddha, so great grandson of Krishna. When Parikshit was ruling in Indraprastha, Vajranabh was ruling in Mathura. Yudhishthira Maharaj made him king of Mathura and Parikshit of Indraprastha, Hastinapur actually at that time. So Vajranabh, he went around in Vraj area and established various villages where Krishna has performed various pastimes. That's why if you still go, these villages have those names, like where he killed Sankhasura, there is Sankhi Gaon, Sankhi village is there, where Brahma prayed, that Choma is there, which is Chomuha, four-mouthed Brahma. So all these names in Braj, many of these villages, they are related with Krishna Leela, and they were established by Vajranabh, because he also made the deity of Krishna. Like Dauji Baldev was made by him, Govindji, Madan Mohan. And these deities were established by him, Adi Kesav in Mathura at the Janamsthan. So this Datiya was also established by Vajranabh in that place where Dantavakra was killed. So this is the extra scoop about Krishna Leela from Padma Purana. Then Krishnasya Punaha Vrajagamanam. Krishna's visiting of Vraj. So in Bhagavatam there is no direct mention that Krishna came here, but this is described in Padma Purana. So Tatra Padme Tadanantaram api Gadyam Chayatha. So in Padma Purana there is further description. Krishnopi tam hatva yamnam uttirya nanda vrajam gatva sautkanthau pitrau abhivadya asvashya tabhyam sasru sekam alingita. So Krishna, after killing Dantavakra, then he crossed Yamuna and came to Nandavraja, and there very eagerly he bowed down to his parents Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, and also gave them solace that do not worry, now I will not leave you. And he was also embraced by them while they bathed him in the tears of love from their eyes. Sakal Gopa Vruddhan Pranamya Bahuvastra Abharanadibhis Tatra Sthan Santarpayamasa. And all the elderly Gopas, he met all of them, he bowed down to all of them, and he gave them various gifts, cloths, ornaments, and made everybody happy. So there are these slokas also. Kalindya Puline Ramye Punyavriksha Samachite Gopi Nari Bhiranisham Kridiyamasa Keshavaha Ramya Keli Sukhe Naiva Gopavesha Dhara Prabhu Bahu Prem Rasena Tre Masdvayam Vasaha. So on the bank of Kalindi river, in beautiful place, in the pious tree, that Kadamba tree, so Gopinari Bhiyanisham Kridiyamasa, he played with the gopis day and night. And Ramya Keli Sukhe Naiva, dressed as a cowherd boy, he gave up his royal dress when he came here, and he had beautiful company with them. And Bahu Prema Rasenatra, so with great rasa of prema, he lived here for 2 months in Braja. Atha tatrastha Nand Gopadaya Sarve Janaha Putra Daradi Sahitaha Vasudeva Prasadena Divya Rupadhara Vimanam paramam Vaikuntha lokam avapu. And then after 2 months, all the people, such as Nanda Maharaj, along with their children, wives, by the grace of Vasudeva, Krishna, they acquired divine forms, and then they took a flight with an airship and went to Vaikuntha. So they went to Vaikuntha by flight, space travel, Elon Musk. Right? People are now going. So Paramam Vaikuntha Lokam Avapu. Krishnastu Nanda Gopa Vrajokasam Sarvesham Niramayam Swapadam Dattva Divi Deva Ganehi Sanstuyamano Dvaravatim Vivesha. And what did Krishna do? He says that after giving their original place, which is free from all troubles, Krishna, being praised by the Devas who were in the sky, he entered into Dwarka. So Krishna returns to Dwarka because he continued to live. And these people, so Braj pastime were closed after killing of Dantavakra, 2 months after that. So after that there was nobody here. It's described, I think, in Skanda Purana or somewhere, that this whole Vraja, when Vajranav came here, there is nobody here. He has to re-establish the whole Vraja because they left with their cows and everything. Just like it is described in Ramayana that when Lord Ramchandra left, so he asked all the people who want to go with him, and they all entered into the Saryu river. They enter in divine form, go to Saket Dham. So there it is described that even mosquitoes, flies, birds, everybody went with him. Nobody remained behind. Ayodhya became Shunya. You know the Shunya now? So that is to show that the pastime here become aprakat. They enter into Prakat Leela. So the Jiva Goswami has written very lengthy explanations, which we saw in Krishna Sandarbha. So now Vishwanath Chakravarti is commenting on this. Atra Bhagavatamrite Karika Bhir Eva Vyakhyayatha. So in Laghu Bhagavatamritam, Sri Rupa Goswami writes as follows, giving summary of all this. Yaduttirya iti uttarnam tadaplavanam uchyate dushtam hitva vrajayanam snana purvam ihochitam. So when it is said that he crossed Yamuna, because there in the beginning he said Krishna, after killing Dantavakra, he crossed Yamuna and went. But actually Nanda Maharaj is this side of Yamuna. So what does it mean he crossed? So he says that crossing here simply means that he bathed in Yamuna because he has killed Dantavakra, so he felt he has to purify himself. So he took a dip in Yamuna, that's what it means. That's why he says, Dushtam hitva vrajayanam snan purvam ihe uchitam. So he did bathing. And then Vrajesh Aderans Bhutaye Dronadya Avataran Krishna Staneva Vaikunthe Prahinodeti Sampratam. So who are these people who went to Vaikuntha? Because he says that he sent them to Vaikuntha. So he says Vaikuntha is not Nanda Maharaj themselves, but Nanda Maharaj are also two in one type of situation. Drona and Dhara was there. So it is Drona and Dhara, they went to Vaikuntha. And Nanda Baba remained here only. So there are three things. One is going to Vaikuntha, one is going to Goloka, and one is remaining here. So three expansions happen. So that's what he's saying, that Vrajesh Ader Amsa Bhuta, those who are parts of Nanda Maharaj, Dronadi. So Avataran, Krishna Sthaneva Vaikunthe Prahinod. So Krishna sent them to Vaikuntha. And Preshtebhyo Priyatamai Janair Gokula Vasibhi Krindaranye Sadaiva So Viharam Kurte Hari. But he himself eternally resides here in Vrinda forest, along with his most dear devotees, the residents of Gokula. So Gokula does not go anywhere. Goloka, Vaikuntha, they get separated. But then it is said, Vrindavanam Paritajya Padam Ekam na Gachati. So they just became aprakat here only. Atra Nand Gopadaya Putradar Sahita iti Nand Gopadinam Putra Krishna Sridhama Subhaladaya eva Darascha Yashoda Kirtita Adaya eva Sarve Jana iti. So when it is said that along with Nanda Maharaj, his sons, wives, so sons are Krishna, Sudama, etc. And the wives are Yashoda, Kirtida, Vrasbhanu's wife, all these. Vrajmandal stha sarve eva ityatah param vakuntham golokam eva yayu. So after that they went to Paramam Vakuntham, they went to Goloka. Divya Roop Dhara iti Goloka Devalilatvam eva natu Gokula eva Narlilatvam. Why is it said that they went there in a divine form, in a plane? So he says that is the difference between Gokula and Goloka. So Goloka there is Aishwarya Bhav, so they are more opulent, and it is Dev Leela. Krishna is more opulent there, more Aishwarya, and he remains in Gokula as Nar Leela. So Gokula even Nar Leela Tesham iti Vishesho Gaya. Tasmad Rama Avtare Ayodhyavasi Nam Sasarina Nam Eva Yatha Vakuntha Prapanam Tathayvatra Avtarepi Vrajasthanam. So just as in Ram Leela, the residents of Ayodhya, they went back in the same body, in the same way, the people attained Vakuntha in the same form. Etaccha Dwarkatah Krishnasya Vrajagamnam Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam sammatam iti manyate. So this coming of Krishna to Vraja from Dwarka, this is also approved by Bhagavatam. There are some verses which give hint of it, although there is no direct statement, but it is understood from those statements. Yariyambujaksap sasara bho bhavan kurun madhunva atsruhid didriksha krishnasya Baladeva Vrajagamanam Sameta Evasit. So this sloka is spoken by the residents of Dwarka when Krishna returned from Hastinapura, which is described in 7th chapter, 8th chapter, Bhagavatam, 1st canto. So they are saying that when you go away to meet your most dear relatives, Kurun Madhun, Kauravas and Madhun means the Vrajvasis. So they say that for us one moment appears like yoga. So that is reference. Otherwise who? Because there was nobody in Mathura at that time. All the Mathura residents went to Dwarka. So when he says Kurun and Madhun, so Madhun refers only to Vrajvasis. Because Vraja is also called Mathura. And Sruhid Didriksha Krishnasya Baldeva Vrajagaman Samethe Vyasit. Krishna had the intense desire to see the Vrajvasis even from the time when Balram came here. Kintu tatra Atma Mata Pita Di Gurujan Asammati Reva Tatra Pratibandhaka Asit. But as it was explained earlier, that Vasudev, Devaki and other elderly people of Yadu dynasty, they did not want Krishna to come to Vraj because they were afraid if he goes there he will not come back. So this was also said earlier. So therefore he did not come. Such a prag vivrita karikabhyam, this was explained. Idanim tu shalva vadhante narad mukhad ekakinam dantavaktra mayantam shrutva dvarkam apravishyetam hantum ekakitaya tatra gamne na kapi kasyachit vipratipatti. But now when Dantavakra was killed, and from the mouth of Narada, Krishna heard that Salva was killed. Right? He was fighting with Salva. And then he heard from Narada that Dantavakra has come alone to fight with you. So he did not go back to Dwarka and then wait for him to come. But he himself took the chariot from there to come and meet Dantavakra. And then no one is going to stop him now, because he's not going to Vraja. So this is the trick he played on the Yadavas. So nobody thought that he is now going to Vraja. He said he is going to fight. So that's how he came. And that's why he came alone. He could have gone back to Dwarka and let Dantavakra come there. It may take few days for him to come. So no, he himself came and met him here. So Dantavaktram hatva tu ayam avsaro vrajastha bandhu vragamalnamiti. Bandhu varga milnamiti. And after killing Dantavakra, now he got the opportunity to go to Vraja. Vimrishya gayanti te vishad karma yatra iti gopyascha uddhava sanketam cha smritva vrajam agatya saivariham nirvarya. So as it was said, Vimrishya gayanti te vishad karma iti atra, that they sing your great qualities, the gopis are singing. So he got this message, and also Uddhava has told him that how gopis are waiting. So remembering all this, he went to Vraja after killing. And Swavirham Nivarya. And in this way, he removed the pain of separation of Vrajavasis. Kanspadhante vivritam Vrajasthanam prakas dvayam ek dharmyadeki kritya. So at the killing of Kamsa, it was described that there are two prakashas. This came earlier, Prakat Prakasha and Aprakat Prakasha. So this discussion happened before, that how Krishna actually did not go to Mathura, but one who was in Mathura became manifest when Akrura was taking bath in Yamuna, and one who was Vrajiya Krishna became unmanifest. So this was mentioned there. Masadvayam purvat prakatam vrihitya. So now also the same thing. The Krishna who became aprakat here at that time became prakat. That's why he is in Gopa Vesadharam Prabhu. So the Krishna of Dwarka became aprakat for 2 months. And Krishna of Vraja became prakat. So this is what he did here now. Vrajasthalilam prapanchik lok chakshu bhyastrodhaya Krishna pitradi bandhu varg sahito vakuntham gacchati swargasthadi lok drishyasan ekena purna kalpa prakashena golokam jagama. So now he says that along with his father and everybody else, from the point of view of Prapanchik Loka, the people of this, so they disappear. Vrajasthalilam Tarodhaya. Krishna, he goes to Vakuntha. And the people in the Swarga, etc., when they are going, they are seeing that he is Purna Kalpa Prakashena Golokam Jagama. So in one Prakasha, in the Purna Kalpa Prakasha, he goes to Goloka. अन्येन पूर्णतम प्रकाशेन प्रापंचिक लोक अदृश्ये व्रजैव नित्यम विजहार. So in the Purnatam Prakasha he remains in Vraja and he remains aprakata here for the people, they don't see him. And in the Purna Prakasha he goes to Vaikuntha, and the in between Prakasha he goes to Dwarka. So these are the three. Anyena Purna Prakashena Ratharudha Ekaki Dwarkam Jagam. So now he made three. One here, Aprakata, other Vaikuntha, and third one in Dwarka. Sarsanik Lokastu Krishno Dantvaktram Hatva Rajasthai Pitradibhir Militva Dwarkam Asau Gachati. So people of Sursena, means Yadava, etc., they thought that Krishna went to kill Dantavakra, then he met his parents, and now he has come back to Dwarka. So that's how they are thinking. Rajastha sarve tu akasmat ko agata iti ajananto mahavismaya mayapu. And those who are in Vraja, they suddenly thought, where has he gone? Iti ajananto mahavismam, they attained. So they entered into Aprakata Leela, but they don't see Krishna. Says, where have we gone? Suddenly. Vrajasthan Gopan sasariram eva Vakuntham prapyamasa. And then the Vrajastha Gopas, they went to Vaikuntha. Yasa eva Krishno Dwaraka sthan yadun katham mausal lilya tadrishim duravastham prapyamasa iti vichintya parikshid ayam durmanishyate yadusu eva asya sviya abhimanat iti vimrishya Sri Shukdeva Padmottar Khandam etam lilam na shravyamasa iti tattvam geyam. So he says that this pastime is not described here in Bhagavatam, because Sukadeva Goswami thought that yes, Saeva Krishna Dwarkasthan Yadun Katham Masim Lilya Tadris, that he is going to think that Krishna sent the Vrajvasis to Vaikuntha, but Yadavas, he made them fight with each other and kill, so he will feel bad if he describes. So therefore Sukadeva did not describe anything about the Vrajvasis, so that he is not going to compare. Okay, they fought and they killed each other, that's it. But if he has described that Krishna came here, they became like it is in Padma Purana, then he will think that, oh, Krishna is doing this to the Vrajvasis, but to our people, he made them fight. Because Parikshit, he associates himself with the Yadavas, because his great-grandmother is from the Yadavas, Kunti, and his grandmother Subhadra also from there. So that's what he did not speak. So therefore he says, Padmottar Khandam etam lilam na shravyamasa idi tattvam gayam, that it should be understood that he did not tell this story to him. Now he refers back to sloka number 16, that first line. Evam Yogeshwara Krishno Bhagavan Jagdishwara Iyate Pasudrishtinam Nirjito Jayati Tisa. So Kintu Evam Yogeshwara Krishno Bhagavan Jagdishwara Ityatra Iti Padarthasya Vivesha Iti Kriyanu. So he says that this Vivesha has to be added from the previous sloka, number 15, to the first line. This first line goes along with actually the previous sloka. That's what it means. Kritasya annatha anupatti pramani kritya kinchit tad alakshitam dayotya masa iti api geyam kincha व्रजस्थलीला उपसंहार प्रकारांतरेण कापि अदृष्टत्वात् तत्रयमेव प्रकार सर्वैरेव प्रमाणीकर्तव्य एव. So he says that what is the proof of this, what has been all said? So one is that we get the hint from Padma Purana, and the second is that there is no other description about Vraj Leela being, closed by Krishna in any other way. So therefore he says that it is Anyathanupatti Pramana. Anyathanupatti Pramana is same as Arthapatti Pramana, that not finding any other explanation, this is the only one which remains. And he says it is, although he is not saying very clearly here, but it is for this reason that Krishna is mentioned here as Yogeshwara, Bhagavan, Jagdishwara. That he is Bhagavan, he is Yogeshwara, and he is Jagdishwara. Therefore, he is capable of doing all this. That is the indication. Otherwise, suddenly there is no need of all this. Bringing Yogeshwara here. And then suddenly saying Pasudrishtinam. Then he gives little summary. So atra Vaishnav Toshinyam Drishto Leela Kramastu Ayam. He says that the timeline of the pastime of Krishna as per Vaishnav Toshini of Sri Jiva Goswami is as follows. Prathamam Suryo Prag Yatra. So first is after killing of Kamsa, then they went to Kurukshetra for the solar eclipse. This will be described later, but it actually happened first. This was immediately. Not much time has passed. Tato Rajasuya Sabha. After that there was Rajasuya Sabha of Yudhishthira Maharaj, in which Shishupal was killed. Tato Dyutam. Then there was gambling match. Tataha Pandavanam Vanagamanam. Then Pandavas went to forest. Tadaeva Shalva Dantavaktra Vadhu Vrajagamanam. And it is during this period that when Pandavas were in forest, exile, so then Salva killing, Dantavaktra killing, Vidurat killing, and he is coming to Vraja and closing the Vraja pastime. So this is the order. So this Rajasuya happened after solar eclipse, visit to Kurukshetra. Although it looks like that happened much later, but that happened not much after killing of Kamsa. So we'll stop here for today. Then now he's going to describe Balram's story of visiting holy places.
Babaji, here I was thinking, three prakashas we see in the timeline of Bhagavata. One, when Akrura was taking bath, Vishwanath will mention that they split. And then again, while going back to Vrindavan, Mathura Krishna, again he will say they split. And this final, when he is wrapping up the whole Leela. So I am trying to understand, are these three prakashas belonging to three different Leela prakashas? They are not from the same Leela prakasha, because then that would break the flow of
Yeah, they are all independent.
Yeah, so then my next question would be, so it is then possible that three different Leela prakashas can all interact with the same prapancha? So that is, multiple Leela prakashas can interact.
Purushottam Prabhu.
So this means that the Mahabharata Yuddha happened after Krishna wound up his Braj Leela, basically.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Brajananda. You have to unmute yourself, we cannot hear you. You are muted. No, we don't hear. Okay, Rhodes.
Babaji, I wanted to ask if you could speak a little bit more about the distinction between Goloka and Gokula. I think I don't understand that yet.
So Gokula is pure Narlila, where Krishna takes birth like a human being. In Gokula there is more Aishwarya, there is no birth, it's more like Vaikuntha. That's what it says, he went to Vaikuntha. So in Vaikuntha there is no birth, no, there is no death, there is no killing like killing of asuras, etc. These things are not there.
Are both Gokula and Goloka located within the Paramavyoma? Or is one more associated with earth and one more with the Paramavyoma?
No, they are in Paravyoma only. But Gokula becomes manifest here when it is time for Krishna to appear on earth.
So in Goloka there is Aishwarya, but not as much as in Dwarka, I guess. Or even as much as in Dwarka.
Yeah, as much. No problem.
What? I think I have to read Krishna Sandarbha. I haven't read it before. I think I'll understand this better once I read, probably.
But there are cows there, but Lakshmi Sahasra Sat Sambram Sevyamanam. So this description in Brahma Samhita is of Goloka. That's why the word Lakshmi is used. These Lakshmis are gopis only, but they are opulent gopis.
So in terms of if we get into, so prior to hearing about Bhakti and everything, I used to be really into Neoplatonism and topics of metaphysical priority. So if we try to rank these by metaphysical priority, would we say Goloka has more metaphysical priority since it's at the center of the flower described in Brahma Samhita, and all the other parts of the Paravyoma are kind of outside of it, outside the center of the flower? Or do we not even have questions of metaphysical priority when it comes to these topics?
No, most of the descriptions you will find of Goloka. And the reason for this is that people like that. Because they have an idea that spiritual world is more fancy, more opulent. So what is being described here in Vraj Bhakti is that it is absolutely here on earth, normal like human beings. And this is the highest. But it is difficult to understand and not very appealing to people in general. Because people want something, people have an idea of otherworldly thing, heaven. In every religion they have that you have to leave this place, go somewhere else. But Gokula Leela is that you don't have to go anywhere. This is the place. And you don't have to have wings like the fairies have wings to fly, all that. So you walk on the ground. That's why Krishna does not have 4 hands here, he does not have chakra, disc, etc. Nothing, just flute and stick, horn.
In the vision of the Paravyoma described in the Brahma Samhita, we have Goloka at the center, which seems to have metaphysical priority. But then, if you have even more insight into the intimacy or sweetness of Krishna, then one can have access to an even higher vision, where Gokula is even prior to Goloka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gokula is the highest. Okay, Prajakta.
Okay. Ram Babaji Maharaj. I have a follow-up question to Prabhu's question. So when we are talking about Gokula and Goloka Vrindavan, so you said there is more opulence. So it's and when we were
Opulence also means distance. Just remember that.
That is what I was trying to understand, because here we have seen the Aishwarya Shakti is dominated by Leela Shakti, where Mother Yashoda does not recognize that Krishna is the God Supreme. But does that mean in Golok, when we say opulence, they do also understand that he is supreme?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
So it is like that they are talking about 3 prakasas, but you can think of 3,000 prakasas or 30,000 prakasas. So it is like this, that the highest prema manifests in Gokula, and that is the Vishuddha Nar Leela, absolute pure human-like. There is no tinge of any opulence. It doesn't mean that opulence is not there. Jayati te adhikam janmna vraja shrayati indira shashvadatrihi. So Indira means Lakshmi is always taking shelter here, but this does not become manifest in the form of palaces and horses and chariots and thrones, not like that. That's why if you read even in Bhagavatam, there is nothing like that. Otherwise, how Shaktasura came is he was hanging under the cart. So you think this will happen in a palace? What cart is doing inside a palace? So this is pure Nar Leela. And that also means that here is the most intimate pastime. Because as Aishwarya increases, then distance also increases. The intimacy diminishes with Aishwarya. So therefore there are various levels. So Parkiya is also there, then Swakiya is also there, and different levels on that. And then you have more Aishwarya, you go to Dwarka. So then they are actually queens. In Goloka they are still cowherds, but more opulent. Like we are reading in Gopal Champu. So Gopal Champu is describing more Goloka type.
Thank you, Babaji.
Babaji, little confusion. This battle with Dantavakra, it is in Madura or Dwarka?
What is
battle with Dantavakra.
Battle with
Dantavakra.
It happened between Mathura and Dwarka. There is a place called Datiha. Even now it is there. If you travel by train from Delhi to Mumbai, Datiha station comes as a train station.
So is it not that just after killing Shalva, Dantavakra came at the same spot?
No, not same spot.
Okay.
That's why he said he got the news that he is coming. Then Krishna himself came and met him there.
Yeah, in commentary it is there, but in the shlokas I don't know, it is like continuously.
Yeah, Bhagavatam is not giving much details on
Okay.
this.
Yes.
Bhagavatam finishes everything in one sloka.
Babaji, good night. Pardon my ignorance. This is my first time here. I'm new to the Jiva Institute. I've been studying the Gita, right? And as far as I know, Gita for me is the explanation how is the battle inside you.
How?
How is the battle happening inside you, in the mind, actually. So in regards to that, what is the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam teaching us? In the sense like,
So
how is the
Bhagavatam
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam?
is teaching that it is happening inside and also outside.
Okay.
So both.
Okay. So what is outside then? Like,
Outside also fighting goes on. You don't see people fighting outside.
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But that fighting outside is there because fighting inside is there.
Okay.
When the inside is peace, outside is peace.
Yeah.
When inside is fighting, when you are troubled inside your mind, then you create trouble outside your mind. So that's what is being taught.
Thank you.
Sandeep.
Pranam Babaji Maharaj. So my question is that I am not getting the link in this chapter because till shloka 15 it was a description of the battle and then Krishna getting victorious. So and then you explained because Yogeshwara, Jagdishwara and this thing has been said in 16. So all this detailed of his going back to Vrindavan.
Ask
Is
question.
there any link with this shloka or
Link of what?
so is there any link? What is the link?
Please ask your question clear.
Like from the battle, it shifted.
Link of what? That's why I'm asking. Link between two things. What are the two things you're asking about link?
How from the battle?
How from battle?
First is this battle going on,
Yeah.
and next, from after the battle, you mentioned that Yogeshwara and Ishvara is mentioned in the shloka. So that is why he is going to Vrindavan and winding up the pastimes of Vrindavan. So these two events are different. One is the battle, other is winding up.
Yeah, so he already mentioned in the commentary that it is based on Padma Purana. And he cited everything from Padma Purana. That Padma Purana is giving more detail that after killing Dantavakra, he came to Vraja. That story is from Padma Purana, not in Bhagavatam. He also mentioned why he did not give this story in Bhagavatam, because he didn't want to disturb Parikshit's mind. This is what I explained just now. So now what is your question now?
I heard that you had said that because in this shloka Yogeshwara and
Arey Baba, you don't hear clearly. I said that, listen to me. I said that here this story is not mentioned, but the word Yogeshwara is giving a hint of this. Because what does Yogeshwara mean? Who has yoga, who is a master of yoga, which means who has some powers, something extraordinary. So is it not extraordinary that he came here and then everybody disappeared from here? That is the Yogeshwara. So it is not mentioned here. I am just saying that this is a link, because Padma Purana is telling this story and Bhagavatam is not telling. Then suddenly the word Yogeshwara is mentioned here. Now there is no need to mention Yogeshwara here. So I am saying that this shows that there is something behind. And then commentator explained that why he did not tell the story. So he gave the reason for that. Is it clear now?
yes.
When we are talking about Gokula here, we are talking about Gokula in the aprakat sense, no? So there is no interaction with prapanchika vastu loka.
Yeah, it's only prakat and aprakat only.
No, I'm telling Gokula. When we got this distinction between Goloka and Gokula, where Gokula is Vishuddha Naralila. So that is aprakata Vishuddha Naralila. So there is no interaction with.
Yeah, even the same aprakata becomes prakata when Krishna is there.
Because
Now this is Bham Gokula
yeah,
at present.
because I had this problem in Raganuga Vivritti, Rupaka Viraj tries to get this distinction that it is not possible to attain Vishuddha Naralila other than in Prakat Leela.
Yeah.
So then this whole thesis that he will develop that the sadhya of Gaudiya Vaishnavas is Prakata Leela and not a Prakat Leela. So there is some conflict within the
I
these
don't
things.
know, I have not read this, so I cannot say what he is saying.
Okay. Now I will just, okay, then maybe I will discuss this later.
Okay, Brajanandana, yes.
Yes, I have a very important question for me. It's about the liberation that the devotees may attain, and particularly in the Damodara Stakam, Vyasadeva is speaking in his 4th verse about any kind of moksha, anything than staying in Boma Lila, because the Gopala Bala Lila is only, we can only explain that, and if it's this kind of liberation is also accepted and desired by ordinary bhakta.
So the problem is that your internet connection is not good, and when you are speaking, your words are breaking. So I cannot understand your sentence.
It's about Gopala Bala Lila,
Yeah,
explained by Vyasadeva in the Damodara Stakam.
yes.
And he said that he doesn't want any kind of liberation except this lila in the Boma, because the Gopala Bala lila can be found only on Bhumandala.
So what is the question?
So the question is this kind of liberation maybe also acceptable and desired
Which kind of liberation?
by any bhakta?
Which kind of liberation?
To stay, to remain in Bhumandala, to assist the Balagopal Lila.
How will you assist Balgopal Lila?
To be present as is explained in the Damodara Stakam.
No, how will you assist in, you said to assist in Balgopal Lila, how will you assist?
To be present.
Just by present.
Yes.
Okay. But that is not liberation. Why you call it liberation?
Because Vyasadeva in his
Vyasadeva is not saying that. I think you are not understanding. He is saying, I don't want moksha. He is saying, I don't want liberation. And you are saying this is a type of liberation. Where is he saying it is a liberation?
I mean, we have to take the verse in consideration.
Yeah, I'm taking in consideration. I'm not saying.
Varam deva moksham, na moksham vadimva, na chanyam vrineham varesham apiyam.
Yeah. He says, I don't want.
Yes?
Yeah, so he is denying that I don't want any moksha.
Yes. Because after he said, Idam te vapur nata gopala bhalam sadam emanasya virastam im anye.
Yeah, so he's saying that this form of Bal Gopal manifests in my mind.
Yes.
That's what he's saying. He's not saying I want to be present in this lila or that lila, or I want moksha. All he's saying that I pray that this form of Bal Gopal lila manifests in my mind. Avirstam me mansi. That I may have this vision always manifest in my mind. That's what he's praying.
So I'm sorry, maybe we are bewildered by the translation, which may be not correct.
Yes, that's possible.
Sorry.
He is not asking for any moksha, liberation or anything else. In fact, he is denying that I don't want that. Okay, Param Karuna ji.
Thank you, Babaji.
Pranam Babaji Maharaj. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Thank you, Babaji, for this wonderful set of classes. Babaji, my question is on last line of verse 15, which says, Vivesha Alankritam Purim.
Yes.
So, it seems there is some mention in the commentary, I remember, I may have missed it when you explained, on the significance of the word Vivesha. Could you please...
No, Vivesa simply means he entered into the city which was decorated, Alankritam Purim Vivesha. And then I said that this word Vivesha also applies to the next sloka, Evam Yogeshwara Krishna Bhagavan Jagdishwara Purim Vivesha. Like that also is to be seen.
Okay. As far as I remember, Babaji, maybe there was some kind of a mention by either Shri Jiva Goswami or Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that this is the word which mentions that he entered after completing some other tasks, and in this is where kind of he completed after completing some other tasks he entered Dwarka, and those tasks which Sri Shukadeva Goswami skipped talking about are like going to Braja, etc. I may be mixing up things, but maybe there was this mention on the word Vivesha as the reference to Lord Krishna's going to Braja, etc., which Sri Shukadeva Goswami consciously skipped to spare Parikshit Maharaj the pain. Am I?
No,
That was my.
At least Vishwanath Chakravarti didn't say that. I don't know about Jiva Goswami. I did not read that. He did not mention that.
Okay, Babaji. Thank you. I will try to look up, and if I find something, I will share later.
Okay.
Thank you.
It only says that this Kintu evam Yogeshwara Krishna Bhagavan Jagdishwara iti atra iti padarthasya vivesha iti kriya anviti. He only saying that Yogeshwara Krishna Bhagavan Jagdishwara, this makes anvay with vivesha. That's all. Iti. In sloka number 16 there is iti, jayati, iti sah. So he says that this iti padarthasya means that the meaning of the word iti here goes along with vivesha. Vivesha iti, kriyanveti.
What he just said now, so it is in Bhanu Maharaj's translation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary.
What is the writing?
So he's saying, so Sukadeva Goswami vaguely suggests this story by using the verb vivesha in verse 15, which means Krishna finally entered Dwarka with his associates after having performed other pastimes that are already known. So I will not mention them. But I don't know Mula.
Well, now as I said that from the sloka, you cannot derive any meaning like that. But because Padma Puran says it, then you can extend if you want to say. But from the slokas, there is no hint at all. The only hint which I can think of is this word Yogeshwara. That this can give you the hint. But Vivesha, he entered the city. Before that, he is being praised. Apsarobhi Pritri Pravarair Vivesha Alankritam Puri Kusmair Abhivarshita Upagiyaman Vijaya Purim Vivesha. So I don't see any direct or indirect hint of that. And as I said that this word Yogeshwara only makes one think that why suddenly Yogeshwara comes here. Because he has not done anything like that. Okay, he fought and he killed them.
Is there any difference between pravesh and vivesh, like from a Sanskrit standpoint, or any subtle difference between the pravesh also means enters?
Yeah.
Vivesh.
No,
is there a subtle difference between the two?
No.
Could it be that maybe there's a different reading? So What do you have in the third pada of 15?
What is?
So in the Granthamandi edition I see Vritascha Vrishni Prabharei.
What is the reading?
Vritascha Vrishni Prabharei. And I think you read it a little bit differently.
Pitri Prabharai.
Yeah, so this Vritash you don't have in the reading that you
What
have.
is the reading? Can you read? Apsarobhi, second line. You have Apsarobhi.
So Apsarobhi Pitri Ganai Yakshay Kinnara Charanai Upagiya Mana Vijaya Kusumair Abhivarshita. And then Vritash Cha Vrishni Prabhareir Vivesha Lankritam Purim.
Okay. So here there is a difference in reading. He again brings Apsarobhi Pitri Prabharai Vivesha Lankritam Purim. But that also doesn't bring any.
Doesn't it just say that he was surrounded by the best of the Rishnis?
Yeah. But that doesn't say anything about Vraja or anything. Okay.